Hello friends, family, and folks at home. Today I will be taking you into the field again on Isle Royal. Today we are helping out our good friend Emily, who's doing her PhD on plant regrowth after wildfires in Moose Browse. So Emily boats us to our spot for the day. I was in charge of the anchor, and then we tie up the boat and get on our way. You get up and you can see a good scope of where we're going to be working today. Oh, hey, Nick. And we start hiking to our first site. Each of our sites takes about an hour to 2 hours to get done, depending on the terrain. Here's the spike for our first site, and as you can see, this is the kind of stuff we're working with here, which is pretty treacherous. So here's the agenda for all of our sites. We gotta measure soil, vegetation ID, vegetation cover, animal browse, coarse woody debris, shrubs, saplings, bryophytes, trees, and canopy cover. And a billion other things that we had to do as well that I probably just forgot about. So here's Jackson setting up our transect through the crazy brush. This fool is like 6'5" and he couldn't even see out of the top of it. Pretty shrubby in there. So on these transects we measure out the vegetation cover in these quadrats and we can identify what we're looking at. We also measure the coarse woody debris that's laying across the transects. We measure how long it is and the diameter at breast height. Here's Emily measuring some soil stuff. I don't really know how all that works. And just like that, site 1 is done. It took like an hour, but it looked like it didn't take any time. Here's Nick pointing out a super cool loon. And then we're moving on to our second site of the day. This is where things started to get very perilous. There was a lot of windfall, a lot of shrubs, but some of us made the most of it. Jackson had a pretty good time. But yeah, it was mostly just a lot of crawling and a lot of bruises at the end of the day. Once we got to our second site, Jackson found this pretty cool birch skirt. And then we start measuring everything again. Vegetation ID, coverage, all the good stuff. Here's the DBH for the trees. More soil stuff for Emily. And just like that, it's lunchtime already. We're all having a good time taking a break, eating our lunch. But guess what? Emily's still working. She's an absolute animal. She can't be stopped. Site 2 is done. So now we move on to site 3. No shenanigans here, only professional business. So we set up at the control plot outside the moose exclosure, which I'll explain in a second. Do the quadrats, measure everything like we normally do, and then site 3 is done. So the moose exclosure is this thing. It's basically a fence that keeps the shrubs in and the moose out, so we can measure how much would grow back if it wasn't being eaten by moose. Here we are doing the same things we do at all the sites. And just like that, we're done for the day. Pack up the essentials and get ready to head out. In reality, all these plots take us the entirety of the day. It is not easy work, even though it's a short video, but we make it look good. Nick and I are headed home for the day, back to our little island. Thanks for watching, guys.